Yeah, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Frank here for the Bakersfield Gentleman with some great news to give to you guys. Our good buddy Hack over at Vintage Havana Lounge in Ridgecrest, California has come up with an amazing promotion idea to help us out and to help out Cigars for Warriors. So basically, if you guys have not yet become a supporter of the Bakersfield Gentleman, by starting May 1st through the rest of the month of May, he is going to match every donation made to Cigars for Warriors. So you sign up to become a supporter for $4.99 a month, he is going to give $4.99 to Cigars for Warriors. So you guys, if you want to help us out and help out Cigars for Warriors, make sure you guys hit that Become a Member link at the top of the page, or when you're commenting on our videos, hit that little teal shield with the heart. Thanks a lot, Hack, for helping us out with this. Hopefully this will help us out and help out Cigars for Warriors. Y'all have a great one.
And Frankie does such a good job of those little videos. I think everyone should hire him. PSAs for everything.
Dude, that was amazing. I was like, whoa, we're doing it here. I like this.
Yes, it only took me 27 takes.
Nice.
Yeah. Guys, all right, guys. So welcome to the Second Third Podcast, you guys. Bakersfield Gentleman here live in Bakersfield, California, Cigars and More, the original Cigars and More. And we have some really special guests for you guys today. So do us a video and share, or do us a favor and share the video. There we go. We have Carabella, who is our local rep for Drew Estates, and Drew Estates master blender himself, WIllie Herrera. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you? How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Can't complain.
Awesome. So happy to have you guys here. Real quick, you guys, since we have Drew Estates here with us, we're running the sales on Drew Estates stuff. You guys can see the sales right there at the bottom of the ticker. That goes for any of the Drew Estate stuff we have behind us here, the stuff we have in the humidor. You guys can take advantage of those deals here at Cigars and More 2, or Cigars and More El Segundo. So whichever one will work best for you guys. You guys can go ahead and take care of those deals. You know, you guys can get yourself a whole mess of Herrera Miami's if you guys want.
And Valencia too.
And Valencia shop as well. I'm sorry. Yes, the 4th location. Always forget about that guy. But anything you guys want from Drew Estate will be on sale, and you guys can see that right at the bottom. We have the number for this Cigars and More in the ticker as well. So let's start with Willie. Willie, man, how you been holding up?
Really, just adjusting to all the change, man. Just getting accustomed to all this time home, which I'm not complaining. It's really nice. Getting a lot of stuff done in the factory here in Miami. And just adjusting to all this homeschooling stuff, man. That's been the biggest issue.
Yeah, I bet that's madness.
Oh, you have no idea. You cannot imagine. With the oldest, it's not an issue, man. But with my young one, it's from the minute that he wakes up, it's a constant battle for him to log into school, do the attendance, get on the class, do the homework. Oh, it's rough, man.
I can only imagine. I mean, we got our younger brothers and sisters, but luckily, any teaching role I have is basically a substitute. Once in a while, my parents need some help, so they do all that stuff. And let's put it: if they had to do parent-teacher conferences, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't say they're a delight.
Yeah,
these teachers are telling our kids. And it looks like we have Justin on, but I'm gonna wait for his picture to show up right here as well. And it looks like give me a thumbs up, Justin, when you're good to go on. Looks like you might be frozen. Nope, there we go. No, he's ready.
oh snap.
There we go. How we doing?
Man, doing all right, I guess.
So,
What's happening, man?
Are you in a cubicle right now? Where are you at?
Oh, it's like a cubicle. It's a control room. We'll call it that.
All right.
fantastic. So For those of you guys that don't know, WIllie became the master blender for Drew Estates in 2011. What was that experience like, becoming master blender?
Man, it was to be honest with you. So I came on board not as a master blender for Drew Estate, but to expand the traditional side of cigars for Drew Estate. And it wasn't until after the release of the Norteño, which was the second release that I did, that they told me I was a master blender for the company. So it's not you fill out an application or anything like that. I had never really heard the term. Uh, for me being and running my family's factory in Miami, you do the blend for the company. So that's the whole master blender thing. That was all new to me. And when they announced it and they told me, I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool." So, what does that mean? So,
Cool.
and
Okay.
so basically, what it meant and was the best part of it all was, at that point, then I was no longer responsible just for creating new Herrera brands, but then I was responsible for everything coming out for Drew Estate, which for me meant, more challenges, more fun, more excitement, just getting to create a whole bunch of new stuff rather than just limited stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
And I was checking out some interviews that you did in the past about talking about kind of help fill the gaps of some of Drew Estate's portfolio. And there's a vast portfolio there.
Mhm.
What kind of challenge was that starting off? Because that sounds daunting to me.
Dude, it's pretty easy, man. You look at what you have, and you look what you have with this rapper and what rappers you don't have, and that's how you start. So you look, at that time when I first started working on the Herrera Esteli, they didn't have anything with Habano. When I looked at everything that they had nothing with Habano Ecuador. So that was, my first choice to go with. Plus, it's always been a favorite rapper of mine. Same thing with Norteño. When Norteño came around, they really didn't have anything box press in the traditional side. So boom, I went with a box press. And then with the Herrera Brazil, they didn't have anything with Brazilian Marafina. Boom, so I went with that. So that's kind of how I go about every time we're looking to create something new. Is basically look at the portfolio, what we have, and try to fill that gap. Same thing with Underground Shade. When we went with that project, we didn't have anything in that milder Connecticut shade wrapper segment. So I went with that route. So it's kind of easy to figure out where you want to start with. It's not easy creating what you want to create.
Mhm.
But at least to get the idea of where you want to start with, I usually that's how I look at it is, what wrapper do we not have? What shapes do we not have? What profiles do we not have? And then I start, and then is when the real fun starts, and it's creating that, that profile that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, for people that don't know, you started off at El Titan de Bronze in Miami, which, as you said, is your family's company. What was it like blending for them? Excuse me, and then moving to Drew Estate and having Drew Estate's what do you call it? Their
Brother,
resources.
imagine going from I don't know. Imagine going from being in the desert to then going to the Caribbean island with water all around you. It's kind of the best way to describe it, because at El Titan, we only had at that when I was there probably between 6 and 8 different types of tobaccos. That's really all we had,
Oh,
and
wow.
you had to make do with that and get very creative with the limited tobaccos that you were able to get. And then boom, Drew Estate. Now you're the largest importer of tobacco into Central America, so you got tobaccos from everywhere, whatever you could imagine, seed varieties, regions, you name it, we had it. So it was daunting, to say the least, man.
Yeah, sounds like it right there.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show,
Going.
but
Hey, Willie, I have a question for you, actually.
Shoot.
Sorry, is there a delay? Oh, okay. I think they froze. Ah,
Oh, you're freezing a little bit. What are you doing?
it's not me. I don't know. But anyways, I wanted to ask Willie if you can hear me. When you were talking about when you decide like you know you needed a shade wrapper or whatnot. How many blends do you think you go through on average trying to figure out what you were looking for?
You know, it varies. You know, some cigars you get to it a little quicker. Um, my experience has been when you're trying to create the milder, mellower profile type cigars are typically the more difficult ones to do, for me at least, because you
Hmm.
want it to be mild and you want it to be complex. You want it to have body all at the same time without over too much overpowering, too much
Yeah.
spice, too much, whatever it is. So for me, for example, the undercount shit, it took over a year and a half. So that was, I don't know, you're talking about hundreds of blends to get to the
Yeah.
point where the one that I smoked, I really, really liked, and it was ready for me to give to the team for them to try and get the feedback from them. But typically something a little bit stronger. Uh, and again, it all depends what type of profile you're looking for. If you're looking for a super strong cigar, you're not so worried about certain
Yeah.
notes and certain subtlenesses. So it all depends, man. It all depends.
That makes perfect sense. And I gotta say,
That's a
yeah.
lot.
How do you know when it's done though? I think that's a hard question right there. Because after going through so many, is it a gut feeling like, okay, I think now now we've reached where I'm looking for, or is there an end goal in mind before you really even get started?
Well, there's always an end goal, and there's always that profile you're looking for. It's a matter of every time you blend it and you smoke it, how it hits you, and if it's there or if it's not there. Is it missing something? Does it need something else? And that's that process is what takes so long because you make the cigar, you make it. Let's say it's 5 minutes for you to do a cigar to smoke it, right? But then you can't smoke it right off the bat. So then, depending on what it is, you gotta wait 30, 45, 60 days. Then at that point, smoke it. Now, if you don't like it, and you gotta change something. Now the whole process starts again. So you're looking at another 45, 60 days, and it just keeps going over and over until that one you do smoke, you taste it. Oh man, this is good. Then you make the samples, and then you hand it out to your teams and your people, and you get the feedback from them.
Now, have you ever given people something like, no, I don't like this at all? No, I'm just kidding.
I
Uh,
have.
yeah, okay.
No, yeah, man. Hey, listen, not everybody's palate's not the same, and you're always gonna. And that's the reason I do it because I want feedback from everybody. I don't want everybody to tell me, "Oh, this is great, this is awesome." No, that's why I have the team that I have. I know are gonna give me the good along with the bad, and that's what I need in creating anything new. I don't want to hear from everybody that is great if they're really not feeling it because then the cigar comes out to market and it's okay. I need for everybody to say, "Man, this is awesome. What is this?" And that's just what I look for, man. I don't want all roses, man. Give me the truth. Give me the facts. See, like
Now,
my boy Roy down there, Roy Hoffman will give it to you how it is.
How you doing, Roy?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing fantastic.
wonderful.
And I just want to go around real quick and ask everybody. I'll start with you, Mike. What are you smoking?
Oh, I am having the Herrera Esteli. Which one did you give me here? Let's see if we
Ooh, the
can get.
Brazil, the
We can get
Brazilian
this.
Maduro.
I hate that my camera doesn't focus when it's smaller because I want to show off these bands. Of course, it's not going to focus for me either. Gosh, I'm sorry,
And,
guys.
I've got the Miami here, or Esteli Miami.
Nice. I was just in the factory today.
Fantastic,
Awesome.
fantastic. So what are you smoking, Willie?
I am smoking one of the Herrera TAA cigars. It's one of the only well, it's actually the only Herrera cigar that has broadleaf wrapper. Um, and it was the very first time I was able to work with broadleaf wrapper. Uh, so that's what I'm smoking now, just to smoke something a little different.
Fantastic. Roy, how about you?
Herrera Tienda Exclusiva from 2015.
Oh wow, okay. That's
Oh, the Riverside
Wow.
one. Yummy.
Yeah.
all
Well,
right.
guess what, Roy? I have a box of those. You're not the only one, buddy.
2 boxes and 3 of the regular Tienda.
And
This
Karen,
guy is the only person ever that, because of him, is the only reason I've been able to smoke my stuff with age on it. Because I never keep any of it. And this guy has given me boxes from the original releases, the year after that, the year after that. It's unbelievable.
that's awesome.
So because of him, I've been able to see how the Herrera Habano really truly changes over time.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice.
Yeah, he and I shared 2 boxes from the original release he did in Florida the first time they came out. And for about 4 or 5 years, we smoked those when you came up here.
That's awesome.
It is, man. It really is.
And Karen, what are you smoking?
I'm smoking the Pappy Tradition that Willie
Nice.
blended. Yeah, I was actually going for the new Maduro, but I realized I'm out. So then I saw the Tradition. I said, well, there we go. So.
Can I see that band again real quick? Is it a white band?
The Tradition's got that creamy.
I can't see.
Oh no, you got like one of the test band ones.
Yeah,
oh, you're special.
yeah. Well, come on. I don't know.
You see, I don't have any of those.
It just happened to be
get
there. I don't know.
Karen took them all. Don't tell anybody. It's okay.
Yeah,
Just tell the internet.
exactly.
So real quick, Willie, back to you. You mentioned you're smoking the TAA. For people in the comments who may not know what that is, can you maybe give them a rundown of what that is?
So that's a cigar that's made for the TAA member stores. I believe there's like 65 or 75 in the U.S. And then they approached me, I guess it was 5 years ago, to create a traditional, because we have a TAA that we've made for them in the acid line. I believe it's in the Cuba line or something like that. I know it's an acid. And so they approached me and they asked me to do a traditional cigar for the TAA. And then consequently, it was at the same time that I was able to use broadleaf. So created that cigar.
I like it.
Nice.
Fantastic. And to get into the TAA, it's a process, I hear. I mean, you got to get voted in and stuff like that.
So I don't know the specifics, but yeah, I believe, they pick the stores that they want to be members or part of the organization.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how it works.
You have to have people have to sponsor you, so to speak, or recommend you to the board, and then they review it or something of the sorts, and either you're in or you're not. I don't know. Yeah,
it's pretty impressive to keep such an exclusive group together. Yeah, and I gotta find me a TA cigar. I gotta try this out. I think our closest one might be Ambassadors in Phoenix. I mean, I don't know of any other one that would have the TAA stuff. I'm not sure. Yeah.
There's some up north. I mean, where you guys are at, up north in NorCal, there's a couple, and then in San Diego, there's a couple. There's not many in California, though. Not at all.
I would think not. In fact, I guess I would like to hear you guys' opinion on this. There was a health committee here in California that passed a law, or they passed to move to a law trying to ban flavored tobacco in all of California. No longer county by county or city by city. And I honestly, myself, I found it ridiculous. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? And do you think there's anything us Californians should be doing to kind of show that this is not something that we really want?
Dude, right to your representatives, man. Same thing with the whole FDA stuff, all that nonsense. All we could do is be heard. And, the only way you could do that is you write those letters, emails, and bombard the representatives with your thoughts and, and let them know how you feel, because a lot of the stuff that's going on, none of it really makes any kind of sense, So,
our company, Drew Estate and our parent company are very involved in the fight against all the, the FDA flavor bans, the different states that are banning stuff and whatnot. So it's just, there's a lot that goes into it, honestly. And it's just it's all in how they define what flavor is. You know, everybody knows that we're not appealing to children. You know, there's not a 12-year-old walking into the store asking for an undercrown. You know, so it's, I don't know. You know, they always have to go after something. You know, so
Yeah.
Well, the flavored is easy because it's a small part of the cigar business overall. I mean, not for Drew Estate, but for overall. So that's why so many of these guys are willing to go, okay, fine, ban them. Just let the traditional stuff go and don't bother it. You know, guys who don't have it, Fuentes and, on and on, and Padron and that, they're not going to fight for it because they don't have them. They don't care.
well,
Right.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that's an
Yeah.
excellent point. So we have a tough question here in the comments from Billy. Mike, if you want to highlight that. Oh, yeah, put it on the screen. He says, what is your favorite non-Drew Estate cigar?
I don't have one, man. I like too many of them, man. You know, that's one of the biggest questions that I get all the time is, what's my favorite Drew Estate and outside of Drew Estate?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, man, I just love tobacco. I love cigars, and there's so many good cigars that I love. I can't really imagine going without smoking any of them. You know what I mean? It all depends on the time, on the day, what you're feeling. It's like sweets, like ice cream, like food. You know, sometimes you're craving pizza. Other times you're craving, hot dog or a hamburger or whatever. And for me, that's what cigars are, man. You know, sometimes you're craving that uniqueness from a Padron. Other time you're craving that uniqueness from a Fuente. Other times you're craving a Tatuaje. Other times you're craving an Ilusione. Other times you're craving something from Espinosa, something they're working on. There's just so many, man, that I can't say one. I really can't. That's the honest truth is I cannot say one is my favorite because I love them all.
Whichever one you're smoking then is your favorite at that time, right?
At that moment, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what I tell people as well. We always look at shit. Yeah.
She'll tell you when I'm on the road with her. We'll walk into these shops for our store visits and whatnot, and I walk out with a baggie of different stuff that I buy. Non-Drew Estate, because I just like them. I just love them.
So I'm going to start with Roy on this one. You're going to be, home for the day. You're going to have a cigar in the morning, a cigar in the afternoon, and a cigar at night. What 3 cigars are you going to pick?
I usually start with a tobacco in the morning.
Nice.
And I'll go, if I stay in Drew Estate, it'll be something like probably a Herrera La Habano, which is one of my favorites. Toward evening, if I'm, again, after dinner, my favorite in the legal line is the L40. I'm like Willie knows, I'm a Lancero small ring gauge smoker. For me, that just hits the mark every time. So that would be like my 3 other stick in there would be a Undercrown Shade. Nice. Ben, who's the rep in my area, we smoke those every single day.
Yeah, he loves those.
What
That's
about
his morning stick?
Kara, what about you?
Sorry. Sorry. I'm seeing green screens on the one thing, so that's why I have a delay. For me, I mean, if I'm actually going to smoke in the morning, it'll be natural or tobacco, something kind of mellow, kind of sweet. But when I'm on the road, my cigar day, honestly, is pretty much always Herrera Habano, without doubt. The short Corona, I smoke those religiously. It's always my first cigar. Sometimes I will do the Shade or a Hoya Red. But at the nighttime, I'm always smoking, either the new Brazilian Maduro, the Liga. What else do I always smoke in the evenings? Honestly, that's kind of pretty much it. Like, I'm kind of pissed. I don't really expand too much. I know what I like,
Nothing wrong with that. Oh, nothing wrong with that at all. What about you, Willie?
Yeah.
Mornings, man, and again, it depends on the day. Sometimes I'll do like the Sweet Jane or Tobacco Negra, or either a Herrera or a Shade. It all depends on how I woke up that day. Then from there, right after, I'll jump off to Herrera Habano, Lonsdale size. That's my favorite of the line, or short Corona, but typically the Lonsdale, a little bit longer. And throughout the day, then from there, I'll jump either the Brazil, Norteño. Uh, at nighttime, hmm, at nighttime sometimes it's a Norteño again. Uh, or the UF13s is probably one of my favorites. For the nighttime, or after dinner smoke, if we're gonna go and stay in the Drew Estate line, the UFs I'm a big fan of, or the new size, the new Corona Viva size in the Liga 9 size. And that's if I want to go heavier. If not,
It's a
I'll
great
stick with
size.
my Norteños, or the Brazils.
Nice, very nice.
See, for me, for some reason, if I smoke something too strong at night, it keeps me up. I won't be able to fall asleep after. I don't know if
Really?
it's the nicotine. I don't know what it is, but if I smoke something too heavy, too strong at night, it'll be 2:33 in the morning. I'm still wide awake, man. So I don't know what it is, man, but
It's
it's
you're
happened to
getting
me a few
old.
times. It's old age, Roy.
So in the comments, we're getting a lot of love on Lanceros. I'm also a big fan of Lanceros, and a lot of love on the Norteño. So that's good stuff. So don't forget, guys, if you want to get any of those things, you can call the number at the bottom. We are running the deals right there. You guys can see that on the ticker. If you guys have any more questions, please put them in. I'm sorry we're not getting to all of them, but you guys are asking a lot, so keep scrolling up, and I can't get to them as fast as I'm hoping to.
Here's a fan favorite one that we get asked a lot on the show to all our guests. If there was someone you could smoke with that you haven't yet, live or dead, past or present, who would you pick? And Willie, we want to start us off?
Dude, I would love to smoke with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh man, you missed it. Then we just did we do a show in the morning, and for just a half an hour, and two of those morning shows plus Tuesday's regular show were basically all about Michael Jordan, and we asked him a question. So I'm going to ask you real quick.
That's a good one.
If you had a choice between his Dream Team jersey, his last year as a Tar Heel, his first championship as a Bull, his Chicago White Sox jersey, or his Wizards jersey, you could pick only one. Which one would you take?
The Bulls,
I like it.
the original.
Okay.
See, I went Dream Team.
I went Dream
yeah.
Team too. Something about that Dream Team jersey.
Yeah. No, I think I'll go with the OG. And then if I had a second choice, or if I could smoke with two people, I'd say Arnold
That
Schwarzenegger.
I've always wanted to. I know he's in California. I just got to keep going to lounges until I see him.
Hey, eventually you'll run into him, right?
Right? Yeah. That's numbers game.
He actually owns, or he has his office or whatnot in the upstairs where one of my accounts used to be. They actually moved their location in LA. He used to come in the store all the time, sometimes with his son. Over the last almost 5 years, I've been at that shop so many times. Never did I see him. Never. Bummer. Yeah. Trust me, I was dying. I'm like, one of these days.
Yeah.
Never happened.
So, Roy, what about you? Who would it be for you?
Well, I have actually spoken with Michael Jordan.
Wow.
I live in Chicago.
What?
One of my friends has stadiums. He has floor seats for the Bulls games.
Oh, wow.
So he knows the guys in the locker room, and we actually, Michael used to hang out some of the places around here, and he used to golf all the time, and I've golfed with him, so I've actually had a chance to smoke with him. Nice guy. But if you don't have money, you don't want to be with him. Everything he does is a bet. He'll bet you if your lighter works or not. He'll bet you whatever it is. Michael puts money on it.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's it's not. I mean, he's got the money, so it really doesn't matter about the money. It's winning for him. That's all it is. Everything he does, he has to win.
Wow.
That's crazy. So I gotta take out a loan to go hang out with him. All right, I'll remember that. Case.
No,
You just-
man. No,
You
we're just bet.
You gotta be lucky enough to know somebody. That's what it is for
We'll
me.
just bet with cigars. Hey, I'll bet you this cigar.
See, that's smart. Yeah, that's safer for me.
Oh wait, I smoked with two famous people. Now that I think about it, I smoked with Dennis Rodman, and if you're familiar with the movie Friday, I smoked with Worm, Big Perm, or whatever his name.
Oh, how come I've never heard this story?
Totally stoked about that. I'm sorry, what?
Wait, I need to hear this story. When did you smoke with Big Worm?
I had an event down in San Diego at one of the shops in Old Town, and he was there on the patio, and I was inside doing my thing, so I didn't even know he was out there. And then one of the workers told me he was out there, and so then I'm like, I want a picture with him. Like, and he came over. He was so cool. Like, yeah, we just hung out. So and he's from San Diego, where he lives in San Diego, and I guess he always goes down to that shop. So I didn't know.
Yeah, did not know he was a cigar smoker. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still had the perm?
No. No. It's funny. Yeah. And then I smoked with Dennis Rodman once too.
How was that?
He's it was great.
Oh my god. There's a story. Yeah. It sounds like an off-camera story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I had to bite my tongue there for a second. No, it was pretty cool to meet him, like, because he's in Newport Beach or whatnot. Everybody knows that. Like, he's always running around there. And so I think it might have been a Christmas party for one of the accounts down there. And all of a sudden I hear somebody go, "Oh God, here comes Dennis." And I'm just thinking like, oh, it's one of the regulars, like whatever, you know? And then I look and here comes Dennis Rodman walking through the door, you know? It was a show, to say the least. It was a show.
Sure.
I could only imagine.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, like I told everybody a little bit earlier, I'm smoking the Herrera Slim Miami. Willie, can you give us a little bit of information on the cigar? You know, what went into the blending process and all that?
So that's a cigar that it started off as a limited release, one size only. If you remember those, they used to have that red band in a Corona size. And then when we went over the Herrera brand and decided to change all the packaging and kind of make everything uniform, we decided to make that one a full line. And then we changed the band to the black and gold, which is what it's now. You know, when I went into creating a cigar, I wanted to do something from back when my early years in Miami. You know, when a lot of that, when I started in the factory, my father didn't exist. It was El Rey de los Habanos, Pepin Garcia, which is across the street, and right next to them you had La Gloria Cubana, Ernesto Pérez Carrillo. That was way before EPC cigars. And so, you know, you had a lot of people, and the buzz at that time were those original Tatuaje Brown labels, the Padilla 8 and 11s, those Rey de los Habanos, like those spicy, I call them Miami style cigars. A lot of the stuff that was coming out back then was that type of profile. And, you know, I've always been a huge fan of those cigars and you know, what was coming out at that time. And that was kind of my mind frame with the Herrera Miami. You know, it's very different from the Habano. It's much richer, earthier, spicier. You know, and it's a lot of those traditional sizes from back then. You know, the traditional 5x50 Robusto, which now is very hard to find a Robusto 5x50. Typically, it's 5x52 or 5x54. You know, a lot of those old school traditional sizes have gone away to slightly bigger ring gauges, you know. But yeah, I went into that was my mind frame going into that, and then blending it with the tobaccos that we have in Miami now, which is a lot more than what I had when I first, you know, when I joined your estate at the time that I left El Paine. So it's got some special tobaccos in there. Dominican, Nicaraguan, it's got the higher priming Habano. It's got a Sumatra binder. It's just a rich, spicy, earthy, kind of sweet smoke, man.
And it's fantastic. It's smoking very well right now. So if anybody's on the fence about what they should order, I definitely recommend picking up some Herrera Slim Miamis. Always a good pick. Yeah. No, we're talking about ring gauges and how, yeah, they are seem just keep getting bigger, and a lot of guys are going for those 6x60s and whatnot. What are you guys' feelings on those? Honestly, I prefer something like a 52 to a 48 in that ring gauge area. It's kind of where I like to stay at. Is that, you guys seeing this trend as a good thing, or is it just kind of another trend to be part of?
You know, my limit is 52. I can't get past a Toro 6x52. My preference is 42, 44, 50, like a traditional Robusto. That's kind of my wheelhouse right there, or Lanceros. But I don't know if it's a trend, if it's a phase. I really don't know. I don't think it's a trend or a phase, honestly, because it's been around for a while now, and I don't see it really going away. But you know, hey, people like what they like for whatever reasons, you know. And it is what it is, man. That's the beauty about tobacco and cigars. You know, you could do something and somebody will like it, you know, because there's just so many different palettes out there, so many different. It's like cars, you know. People like red cars, other people like white cars, other people like V8s, other people like hybrids. It's all different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, I always tell people I'm a sizist. If it comes in a Corona, a Lonsdale-ish size, a short Corona, I'll probably enjoy it. You know, I love Lanceros, but obviously I only smoke those once in a while because they're a dedication a little bit more so than the other ones. But yeah, I'm definitely a sizist. Corona, Lonsdale, those smaller ring gauges, it's what I smoke, hands down.
Yeah, Roy, how about you?
Small ring gauge. I've probably got 100 different Lanceros sitting down in my humidor, one of my humidors downstairs. That's what I enjoy that the best. I'll do the Lonsdale, like Willie says. I like the smaller ring gauge. When in my shop, when the new guys, and they're always talking to me about this, and then they're asking me, you know, oh, what should I smoke and this and that, and I tell them, Willie and I have talked about this, is, you know, your flavor basically is out of your wrapper. It's the most expensive part of your cigar. That's what you want to enjoy. So your smaller ring gauges, the ratio is much better of wrappers. So you're getting more of the flavor, not just bulk smoking a lot of tobacco, which is what I think happens when you get the big ring gauge.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with
Absolutely.
that. And we have a question here from Matt. Actually, two questions from Matt. He wants to know if you're the rep for Modesto at the Cigar Club, Kara.
Yes.
He also wants to know what is the plan for barn smokers this year?
To answer the first question, yes, most definitely I do Modesto. So I do all of California, all of Washington, Oregon, Utah, and a little pocket in Idaho. So that's my management territory that I do for Drew Estate and Hoya de Nicaragua. Barn smokers, I'm not really, I mean, we have some scheduled, of course, later in the year. The ones that were coming up sooner, I believe, have been postponed. I don't know that Willie actually might be able to answer this a little bit better on dates of the barn smokers, because he goes to all of them. So I know some have been postponed. Some are still on the calendar, I believe. But I mean, with everything that's going on, everything's kind of, you know, day by day.
Yeah, that's basically the talk right now. Everything's up in the air. We really don't know. We don't know if they're going to be canceled, they're going to be postponed. It's kind of a week by week basis and see what's going on and how the trends are looking, and you know what states are opening up and how travel's looking, and we're still trying to figure it out. We haven't decided either way yet. We're still waiting.
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And as someone who's not been to a barn smoker yet, Willie, well, what's it like? I mean, what can people expect when they go to their first barn smoker?
Man, it's an experiential event, right? And what we try to give people is kind of a mini cigar safari experience. You know, they see the tobacco in the field. They learn about how that process works. They see the tobacco curing in the barn. They learn about that process there. They go to another booth, which is the booth that I'm typically at, and you talk about blending, how you go about blending and selecting the tobacco for what type of cigar, what type of leaves come off of those plants, what are the profiles, the seed varieties. We basically, it's a big party, right? It's a real good time. Yeah. And it's basically an experiential event where you're teaching people about everything about cigars and tobacco in one location. So it's almost like a mini safari.
Yeah.
Without with the exception of not doing the tour of the factories, but you
Yeah.
learn everything else same as if you were going to Nicaragua.
What's
Yeah,
nice?
for me, I got to go to one. I think like 4 years ago or so, 3.5, 4 years ago. I went to the Kentucky one, so I got to see how we fire cure the tobacco for the Kentucky fire cured cigar, which was such an amazing experience. I was a newer employee for Drew Estate. I think it was like within my first year or whatnot. So it was cool to go there, go to the farm, go to the barns, hang out, do each station like Willie was mentioning. You go process. Pretty cool. If you can make it, they're a weekend kind of thing. It's not like you're going to a different country for 4 or 5 days with our safaris. So, and those, everything gets booked out pretty quick. So when we launch them, you pretty much got to get on there and book a date because the barn smokers sell out usually within hours. So,
Yeah, they sell out quick.
And what's
mhm.
nice about them is that each one is toward a certain cigar. Like Kentucky is with that. Connecticut is basic with Liga because that's you're using the broadleaf, the Connecticut broadleaf in that. Florida is the sun grown. Louisiana is the pappy because that's where he does the preaking of tobacco. So they're aimed at so you not only learn tobacco about a cigar and how it's made, but you learn the different types of cigars that are made at each place. I know the first time Willie and I were in Louisiana, we just couldn't believe the preaking, how they do that. I mean, we were just amazed at watching that. So that's what's
Yeah.
nice. Each one of them is aimed toward a different cigar, and
Yeah.
it tells you a little bit about, like Kara said, when you walk into Kentucky, you see them how they smoke the tobacco and how they do that, and that's what's nice about them too, is that each one is a different experience because of that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
they're definitely unique, every single one of them, because of the tobacco that's grown in that specific farm or in that specific region.
Yeah.
And then when you find out, and you always get that wow factor when you tell people, well, look, that tobacco that's growing right there is in that cigar that you're smoking right now. And for them to see that plant in a cigar, it's like, whoa, I can't believe it. It's an amazing experience.
And we have Mr. Bill Ragon in the comments here saying he's going to be going, hopefully, to his first one in Connecticut as a VIP. What can he expect for a first-time VIP person to be going?
A real good time. Real good time. He's gonna experience everything we've talked about, and a bunch of goodies, and an amazing time. Amazing time.
Fantastic. And Matt is asking, he's been told by a couple of shops in Arizona that the factory smokes are not going to be made anymore, and they won't be able to sell them in bundles. What's the story with that?
I don't know, Kara. I haven't heard nothing about that.
No clue.
Matt getting
No
the
clue.
inside information from I don't know where.
Yeah, he must have a direct line to the source.
Yeah, that's crazy. I heard nothing about that. Yeah,
It sounds like they want to push something else other than factory smokes, man.
No longer available. Bye.
but that sounds incredible, though. So it seems like you really do benefit from going to multiple barn smokers, trying to get to different areas, and I'm sure you get to meet different people too who go to different ones. And one thing I love about cigars is the community, and how many different people you meet. I mean, you meet Big Worm. I mean, I don't know any other area I would get to meet him like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is. When I was in Drapers in Washington, D.C., I was sitting next to the Assistant Secretary of Defense smoking a cigar with him. So you do meet all kinds of people in the shop. I mean, it's great. That's what's so nice about it.
Wow.
I actually met the producer of Miami Vice once, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, he was there in the lounge smoking, and then somebody says to me, "Do you know who that is?" And it was just a unassuming, white guy sitting there, older or whatnot. I'm like, "No, who is that?" He's like, "He's the producer of Miami Vice," and I'm like, "All right," or he was
Michael
the
Mann.
producer. Yeah, is that who it was? All right, yeah. No,
Yeah,
clue,
Michael Mann, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys know.
Hey, man, That's one of those shows that just transforms your life when you're growing up in Miami.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, there's not
I could only imagine the Z Cavaricis and the crop tops that were flying around.
Girl, I was rocking my Cavaricis, my Capizios, the
Oh,
Edwin
yeah.
jeans.
Where's Giselle? Tell her to share some pictures.
They're all missing. For some reason, they're all missing.
I love it. I love it.
So, guys, we are running the deals at the bottom for those who just joined us. So make sure you get a hold of us and get your stuff while the show's going on. We're running it for the whole week.
Yeah. So let me talk about the deals real quick while we have a second. So, you guys, you could call the shop, whatnot. I believe they put their I don't see their email, but you can call the shop. I believe they're shipping to you. You can stop in. They have a bunch of different locations, right?
Yep.
El Segundo down at LA, Bakersfield, Santa Clara, 2 in Bakersfield, actually.
Two, yep.
Yeah. So the deals are, you buy 4 cigars, you're going to get 1 for free. It's going to be the Undercrown Toro, the Maduro. And then if you buy at least 10 cigars, you're going to get 3 for free. And the great thing about this virtual event, the virtual events that we're doing, if you guys been to our in-store events, you know, we give a lot of great swag, raffles, all that fun stuff. But everything except for the Undercrown Toro is a unreleased or a limited item. So you might have gotten your hands on some of these things, but probably not most. So if you buy 10 cigars, you get 3 cigars. And the 3 cigars you get are the Undercrown Dogma, the Pappy Barrel Aged, I don't know if you guys can see these, Pappy Barrel Aged Toro, and then the Kentucky Fire Cured Bellicoso, plus the Undercrown Toro Maduro. And don't talk about my nails if you saw my nails. I've been doing housework. All right. And then you also get the hat, the Pappy hat.
Quarantine nails, girl. Quarantine nails.
You don't even know, bro. You don't even know. It's the eyebrows I'm worried about. It's the eyebrows. Trust me. So then if you buy a box, so you do 20 or more mix and match, you get all those cigars, plus you get the hat, plus you get, the Herrera ashtray. All right. Great for the patio, actually. And then you also get the limited Medusa cigar, which, if you're not familiar, it is the natural line. Can you see that? Yeah, the natural line. 3 cigars wrapped into 1. Unwrap them and smoke them, or do yourself a dare and smoke all 3 at the same time. But yeah, so call Cigars and More in Bakersfield. They have the cigars, they have the deals, they have the swag. They'll get it to you, all that stuff.
And for those of you who don't know, that is the hardest cigar we roll at Drew Estate.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. You're rolling 3 cigars at the same time, and the fill's got to be perfectly done so that when you twist them all like that and tie them up, you don't kink the tobacco and they will all draw at the same time. That's very, very difficult cigar to roll, and the reason why we roll so few of them.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So you guys are saying for sure you could smoke them all together if you'd like, if that's what you're up for.
Hey, you could, man, if you got like a triangle mouth.
Wait, so you mean they roll all of these at the same time and intertwine them as they do it?
They roll 3 separate ones at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And then they wrap them up and tie them. So when it dries, it stays with that shape. Like if you unravel that, it'll stay curled up, each one. But when you're rolling them, when you're bunching them, that fill has to be perfectly packed, when you're getting that bunch, because if you just put 1 leaf over and you start doing that braid, it kinks and it won't draw.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very difficult.
I wonder how many people in our factory actually can make these,
Not many.
I'm sure it's limited, yeah.
I think it's only like 2 people.
I was going to say, it has to be small, yeah.
Now, Matt is saying that he thought the egg would have been hard to roll as well.
This was harder. It's hard. The egg is hard, but this was harder.
Makes sense, yeah. Now, I believe Kara is going to go ahead and smoke all 3 of them at once now. Go ahead. Yeah, that's all right. Go ahead.
Challenge accepted.
No.
I ain't doing it. There's got to be a good wager on the line, There's got to be something good happening.
Understood. So, again, back to the deals real quick.
if somebody wanted to get a good little, let's say they wanted to get a 10-pack, and they maybe want to double up on a couple or just get some singles. Willie, what do you think would be a good 10-pack for them to start out to get a good array of Drew Estate stuff?
Dude, you can't go wrong with one of everything. I mean, we got way more than 10 SKUs, 10 different lines. I would say, you know what I would say? I would say when I call in, pick 10 and put them in a pack.
I like
That's it. That's it. That way, when you get that pack, it's a surprise, and chances are there's going to be stuff in that pack that you've never bought and never smoked. So that could be opening a door to something you're going to love later on.
I love it.
That's excellent.
I like that. I like that. Mm-hmm.
And Zach, thanks for joining us, man. What are you smoking?
The Island of Soul, the Maduro. I never had it before. I did what Willie did. I ordered just 10. I told the guy, hey, throw anything in there. And I got 2 really good cigars. Last night I smoked the Antonio Gran Reserva, top 5 of all time in my name. I loved it. Smoked it down to the nub. It was it's like an hour and 45 minutes smoke on a 5.5-inch stick. I couldn't believe the time.
Wow.
And it was so smooth.
Zach, and that was the first time you trying it?
First time ever. Now I want to buy it. Now I want to buy a box. So, like you said, grab a 10-pack, get everything. I got the shade in there. I got the Maduro. I got the sun-grown. I got a couple of the factory smokes. A little bit of everything is the best way to go.
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
try everything.
Matt is saying if Kara smokes those, we will all chip in and pay for your next eyebrow and nail appointment.
Well, I mean, is each person going to pay for a different eyebrow and nail appointment? Because it doesn't really cost that much, so that's not a high enough stake. So if every person who wants to throw it in, I might have my nails and stuff done for I don't know, at least the pandemic.
Hey, Kara, I got a question. What are they talking about when they're going to start opening up stuff for you guys over there?
I have no clue. I mean, stuff is open for curbside and whatnot, but it's honestly all over the board. Each, San Diego, Orange County, LA, up north, everybody's doing something different, honestly. But the governor or the LA is talking about locking it down till end of July. Yeah, they're supposed to announce it, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, so, but in the same sense, the mayor of LA or whatnot is saying he's going to open everything up for all retail open for curbside on Friday. So it's they're battling each other. So who knows?
Wow.
I mean, down here in San Diego, it's, nothing's really, a little bit more is open right now for curbside, but nothing's really changed,
Wow.
Yeah. They're
That's
losing
crazy.
their minds out here, dude. They're losing their minds.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah. And then you have places like New Orleans that are taking restaurant reservations starting this weekend or something, So,
and bars open. People packing the bars.
Yeah.
I've seen it on the news here. It's unbelievable.
And to answer Tom's question, Tom, just call the number and we can give you any of the prices that you'll need. Oh yeah, not a problem right there. And yes, we do have some boxes of those for you, Matt, if you want to call in.
And I'm sorry, brother, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but he's over in the Great White North right now. He says Canada sucks for cigar lovers. You got to open up the borders a little more for him. I hear you're paying. My buddy of ours went over there for an event for work, and
wow,
double the price minimum than what we're paying here in California. California's crazy as it is, so I can only feel your pain in Canada, man. Stay strong.
Yeah, isn't it like 100% or over 100% tobacco tax or something crazy there?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I'm
in
sorry.
Canada.
You might have said that. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's insane.
we had a couple guys from Canada, one of the barn smokers last year, and they were talking about it. And Coach Q, the Quinville, the coach of the Blackhawks, said he's like, I fucking hate it up there. He goes, there's no place to smoke. He says, I'm standing outside, the wind's blowing, it's 35 degrees. He says, because I can't smoke a cigar anywhere. He says, it's crazy.
Yeah, I can.
Wow.
It's just too much, too crazy. And then we're still getting offers for you to smoke all 3 cigars at once, Kara. What about for an auction or donation for Cigars for Warriors? Oh,
Oh, that
Oh,
sounds
that's
good.
a good. That's a good cause.
Man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is that wait?
Mm.
Is that what that question's for? I mean, really? He doesn't. Billy doesn't say that.
I believe so. I think
Oh,
so.
wait, he does. Will she smoke that cigar? Damn it, Billy.
Wow. So
I actually can't, honestly. Well, maybe I could.
I believe in you. Yeah.
You could do whatever you want, Kara.
Whatever you
No,
put
I
There it is.
I don't mean like I can't, like I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, I could do it.
Well, wait,
Oh,
we gotta get that number from Billy. What's he gonna donate?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you donating, Billy? Come on.
That's a good question. We'll have to wait for his response. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
let's see how good this is.
that the Liga 9 Toro is coming in around $35 Canadian.
Wow.
Holy moly, that's 3 times what it is in Texas.
What part of Texas are you in?
I'm in Houston, so we got cheap tobacco tax. I actually looked up the tobacco tax the other day. Texas is at like 2 cents for every whatever weight. Florida doesn't have a tax, I know, and Pennsylvania doesn't have a tax at all. What is it in California? It's like ridiculous, ain't it?
It's like
62.5.
Yeah, 62%.
How? Oh, so a $10 cigar costs $16.20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
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 So basically,
Wow,
the
a $10 cigar here is $10.
Yeah, the state
All right,
makes
we're
more
gonna
Same
money.
PA in Tennessee.
That's my feeling. Yeah. I will say this though, even with our high tax, we still have regulars. We still have people that love cigars out here, 100%. and they're willing to pay that.
Yeah.
So I think that goes to show how much people love and appreciate cigars.
Totally.
How much does a factory smoke cost there?
Trina, what's the bundle on factory smokes?
69 for the big ones.
So 70 for the largest size. So $70 for a bundle.
I get them here for 40.
So you're gonna have to just send me a couple then. That's okay.
I get them so cheap. I'm sorry, dude. It's like $2 a cigar. I just love it.
Hey, I love
Yeah,
Texas.
and I just
Go there at least once a year.
Yeah, Texas, is pretty lenient on everything. Everything's almost open too, and restaurants started opening 25%. Some of the cigar lounges are open. I could actually go to a cigar lounge if I want to. It's just a 25% capacity. So we got most of our stuff open. But I'll be honest, we do have a Republican governor, and you guys have a Democratic governor. So that is a big deal concerning. I know that's the reason why all this is going on.
Trust me. What is it? LA, a lot of my shops have been locked down since, or have been closed since March 13th, 14th, 15th, whatever it happened, and they're still closed.
Yeah.
Nothing, So I just want to give a shout out to Samuel Harris for just letting everybody know that if I smoke that cigar, I could get sick.
That is a lot of nicotine.
Yeah,
that is definitely a lot of nicotine.
Thank you, Samuel.
Samuel was trying to get me sick Saturday because we did a challenge called the Scuba Cigar, and luckily he took the challenge for me. Where we got the largest one we could find. It was an 8.5 by 80 ring gauge cigar. Cut both ends and then smoke it from the middle. And
wow.
Yeah, we do some weird stuff like that once in a while. And
you guys are bored, man.
Feeling sick.
No.
Yeah, it was definitely a task.
So
yeah.
So if you want to get sick off a cigar that lasts about 4 hours, I did it once in my life. Some people know the cigar is the LFD Digger. It's about an 8.5 by 60 or 70, and it's double a Herrera. And every time I mention that cigar, everybody just they agree that it's probably the strongest you can smoke ever. I ate food and I still got sick and I got dizzy off of it.
Yeah, I think
It was a 4 hour smoke.
No. Oh, man. All right, guys. So we have a minute to go on the show here. We'll start with Zach. Do you have anything to say before we take off?
No, it was a pleasure talking to Willie again. Missed him in Texas. He was supposed to come here at Mike's Cigar Room up in North Houston, but we'll see him next time. Hopefully, he'll be here by the end of the year.
Absolutely. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Let's see how this thing goes and get back on the road. Miss seeing everyone out on the road.
Yep. Ditto.
How about you, Roy?
Chicago is pretty much locked down still, but we all the shops are curbside. And if you know people in certain shops, they'll let a few guys in, so we do get to sit around and smoke at a couple of the shops. But Pritzker's talking July, just like Kara was saying, he's not going to let anything happen, and when he does, they're talking like 30% capacity will be the max. But it looks like July for us too. So.
Hey, Roy, you've never smoked so much at your house, huh?
Never, man. Never this much.
Any last words from you, Kara?
No, I just want to thank everybody for joining us and all the comments and questions. Obviously, it's my and Willie's first time here with you guys, so thanks for having us. It's been cool.
Absolutely.
Good stuff, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Willie, anything to say before we go?
Same. Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. First time with you guys here, and it's been great, man. Great stuff. You guys do it well.
Oh, before you guys go, if I can get this on screen real quick, Dean actually has an ashtray. Oh my goodness! Keep talking while I find it for me.
Oh, he's gonna look for the picture, but just remind you guys can take advantage of these deals all week long until next Thursday. So if you guys need to stock up on anything at all Drew Estates, call that number at the bottom. We'll have that ticker running on all the shows, so you guys can get that going through the entire time. And again, what a pleasure it was to have everybody on and take your time to be with us today, especially you guys watching. Really, it was a big pleasure. So thank you guys so much for watching and staying with us this past hour.
Let's see. If you guys can you guys see that?
Thank you.
Nice.
Nice.
Now, he said, have you guys seen this one before? Because he won that forever ago. And it's
that's nice.
I love it. Oh, my goodness. It's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
Beautiful.
No,
So, yeah.
Is that wood? That's wood, right? I'm sorry. I'm looking on my phone. It's small.
Yes. Just incredible. I love that.
He
Yeah,
said he won it?
Yeah, he won it. Dean, where did you win it again? If you could fill us in the comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he said he won it a while ago.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
No, I haven't either.
It's beautiful, though. I do love it. Yeah, that is some awesome stuff right there. And Paul says, yeah, it's the first time. Hopefully, we can have you all back on again. Thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah,
Sounds
thanks,
good.
guys.
Thank you.
Be
Good
well.
time.
All right, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will catch you guys next time. Everybody watching, please stay safe, stay healthy, and make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning. We go beyond, of course, 8 a.m. For Great American Morning, and then we'll be back Saturday for the final third of the week, and we will see you guys there. Take care, guys.
Thanks.
Good one. Bye, guys.
You guys. Thank you.